Previously on Samurai Jack. The samurai has survived his battle against the daughters of Aku, but one member still lives. Ashi, the devoted assassin, continues to fight against the samurai, both physically and verbally, in spite of her being outmatched. Even when she and the samurai are devoured by a gigantic beast, she believes that Aku's orders shall destroy the samurai and restore peace to the great land of the shape-shifting shogun. While trying to escape the beast, Jack tries to reveal the truth to the assassin, while also trying to keep her alive. Eventually, the warriors do escape, and Ashi is reminded of a time in her childhood when beauty was dismissed. Now the two warriors rest alone on an isolated island in the middle of the sea. '96 starts at the surprisingly empty domain of Aku, where three human armies converged on the familiar spiked spire, where Aku himself dwells. One army in particular is clad in a familiar red plaid pattern, and is led by an old man confined to a wheelchair. Longtime fans of the original series will remember this man as the Scotsman, the oldest and longest of Jack's friends in the future, now old and gray, but still full of fire. His army consists of his entire lineage of children, all of whom are women who are not afraid to show some skin in combat, in spite of their father's insistence on putting on proper armor. Regardless of their attire, the armies commence their attack on Aku, who still suffers from his depression over the samurai's persistent existence. He sees the attack as an opportunity to hopefully cheer himself up, and immediately begins his counterattack, making quick work of most of the humans. The Scotsman realizes this attack was a bad idea, telling his daughters to immediately fall back while he distracts Aku, who notices their retreat. The Scotsman confronts Aku, belittling him for hiding in his tower, while Jack continues to inspire more and more people with each passing day. Aku responds by aptly disintegrating the man with minimal effort, leaving nothing but dust and his now broken, enchanted claymore sword. Aku smiles for a moment, but then remembers the hollowness in his non-existent soul. "Why did he have to bring up the samurai?" he moans, before returning to his throne. The Scotsman's daughters gather around his ashes, swearing vengeance for what Aku has done, only to be greeted by the spirit of their dead father. It seems his sword has the ability to keep his soul on the mortal plane, which is just what he needs at the moment. He tells his daughters to regroup, gather more warriors, and most importantly, find Jack. Speaking of the samurai, we cut back to the island of Ladybugs, where the two warriors are recuperating from the events of the previous episode. Ashi, now doubting everything that she was taught, has a vision of her mother berating and belittling her once more. Ashi is barely fazed, however, as she now knows the truth about Aku's order. As night gives way to morning, Jack finds a way off the island in the form of what appears to be a sea dragon. The creature gives Jack and Ashi a ride across the sea to the mainlands, where Jack, surprisingly, bids Ashi farewell and walks off into the distance. As Jack rests on the beach after another day of travel, he once more experiences the fiery hallucinations of his guilt. His fire starts to yell at him as faces from his past start to emerge from the embers. Unlike before, though, the vision doesn't last long. Jack's thoughts are interrupted by the appearance of Ashi, who has come to learn the truth from her former target. Jack initially refuses to tell her, saying that her mind is far too clouded by Aku's hatred. But the assassin's protests, which oddly parallels the Scotsman's, causes Jack to change his mind. He tells her to wait until morning, only to be met with more impatient growls. As the two wait for sunrise, Ashi stares at the night sky. She asks Jack if Aku was the one who made the stars. Jack is appalled by the notion, and tells her a tale his mother once told him long ago, about two siblings named Sun and Moon, riding their mighty phoenix and shooting the darkness away with their magical bows and arrows. Ashi can't help but smile as she visualizes the tale in her mind. The next day, Jack takes Ashi through a field of desolation. There is nothing but ash and decay as far as the eye can see, save for one vibrantly colorful tree. Jack tells Ashi that instead of Aku being the one who brought this lone tree into existence, he was the one who destroyed all the other trees which once stood here. This field is a testament to Aku's power and hatred over beauty. The second lesson comes from the familiar landscape of a city ruled by Aku's law. A ship lands at a port where Ashi and Jack watch in silence. The pilot is a criminal looking for refuge from his home planet. He is promptly given a home in a part of the world Aku has oddly left untouched, as every man, woman, and child seem quite happy. The criminal gives a wide, toothy grin as he sees his new home. But this is not a warm, hospitable smile. This is a smile of malice and pure evil. This is Jack's second lesson. The innocent are always targets in this world. As Jack continues to show Ashi more of Aku's world, she eventually concedes as they gaze upon a recently devastated village, still lined with the corpses of its people. Ashi asks what can be done about Aku, to which Jack responds that there is nothing that can be done. He has fought for so long that his hope is completely gone. A noise from the rubble attracts the two warriors, as they soon discover that one of the villagers still lives. He marvels at the samurai's return, and tells them that the children of the village have been taken away to a nearby factory. Jack and Ashi infiltrate the factory, hoping to find the children, unaware that they are being watched. In a nearby control room, a robotic foe opens a door close to the warriors, revealing the children. Ashi then hears a high-pitched whine in the air as the children suddenly change from silent and stoic to vicious and primal. Jack and Ashi run as they formulate a plan to save these children, with the latter realizing the sound may control the children. Jack tells her to destroy the source as he leads the mind-controlled army of children away. Ashi tracks the sound to the control room, but is caught by an assortment of mechanical vices, controlled by the sadistic guard who has observed her and Jack since they entered. He tortures her with the electricity, calling her a samurai sympathizer, and regaling her with tales of how simple controlling the children was. Ashi's rage builds to the point where she frees herself from her prison, and finally gives the guard his comeuppance, as she throws him into a wall, and causes his unstable armor to explode. Meanwhile, Jack has been trying to defend himself from the children he wishes to save. The mind control has turned them into animals, making them pursue and attack Jack relentlessly, almost overwhelming him at one point. But then, suddenly, the children cry out in pain as electric sparks fly through the air. It appears the guard's death is affecting the children, making them fall to the ground, one by one. Jack cries out in anguish, believing the shock has killed the children. As he is consumed by his grief, guilt, and fear, a familiar green aura fills the scene. Outside, an all-too-familiar figure waits for Jack, and finally speaks to him.
It is time.
Jack offers no resistance, walking alongside the green warrior and vanishing into the fog. Moments later, Ashi comes looking for the samurai, only to find the children. Like Jack, she is horrified by the sight, only to be thoroughly surprised soon after. The children start to wake up, one by one, alive and well in spite of their trauma. Ashi calls out to the samurai to show him what has happened, but he is nowhere to be found. Samurai Jack is gone once again. As we reach the midpoint of the season, we're given a few things that fans have been dying for in this episode. Firstly, we see Ashi finally accepting the truth of the world she lives in. Ashi now knows the terror and destruction that Aku has wrought upon the world, and she wants to fight him. This can only be the beginning of a wonderful story I hope to see to the end. Next, we're given a taste of what the Green Warrior truly is. He may not be the specter of death that I once thought, but perhaps he is more of an icon of Jack's grief, which may in turn lead him to his death. Only time will tell what the true intentions of the warrior are. Throw in a long-awaited appearance from a classic character, and you get another fantastic episode that left me wanting more. But, once again, we will have to wait until this upcoming Saturday for the story to continue. In the meantime, though, never stop rambling. This has been Rambles and Mumbles of a Nerd, and I thank you very much for watching this episode.